Woohoo. My one's working. Yay. Thanks for the top, Lane. It's a really nice logo on the back. Yeah. You guys are all probably half asleep, so it doesn't matter what I say today. I'm going to get away with it. I spent the whole yesterday running away and hiding from Tay. I don't know where Tay is, but he sells Synergy, and he told me he wants to do a promotional video, and seeing those cameras up there, well, that's as much as he's going to get. And one of those guys over there was saying that despite the fact that I'm from Europe, I'm becoming more of a Kiwi, round shape. I'm terrified of flying, and I hide from cameras. And they added that I stick my nose into everything. So I was going to do a live demo, but someone pointed out I'm not quite good at it, at least not as good as Alan. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a PowerPoint. But I do have my tablet with me, and if you're interested afterwards, more than happy to show you our live system, and provided your internet provider, your cell phone coverage is A-OK, which I can't guarantee. Anyway, time to get on. Obviously you're all asleep and didn't hear me, so I'm all safe. I'm just going to put this here. Cool. So we're just going to have a very quick look at what we've done with Synergy, and a couple of years on, a few highlights and future possibilities. Since most of you don't know me, so I'm going to go through a very brief history of Eliot Sinclair and my role there. Mr. Sinclair, a keen sailor and Royal Air Force serviceman, started the business in 1932 as registered land surveyor. In 1970s, his sons took over the business and added an engineering department. In 1990s, the company grew, and town planning services, hydrography, and photogrammetry were added to the business. I started there in 2003, implemented 12D model into the business in 2004, and 12D Synergy in 2012. When I started, we had about 28 staff, and we are close to 100 now. As my other head as IT manager there, we've gone from 1 server to 10 production servers and 4 licensing servers. And we've gone from dial-up internet, which was a lot of fun, to fiber and WAN connections to our remote offices. And now we are finally pushing for that data management and collaboration. Richard keeps telling me off because initially I kept calling it a document management system, and it is not. So you'll hear a lot about data management. So what we plan on having is 12D Synergy at the center of all our data management, information flow, access to data, version control, backup and restore, and the most unique thing about 12D Synergy, its ability to control absolutely any type of file folder. What is important is the data, so it's not just the files, but it's the information around them, the attributes and the tasks. Place marks, assets, and a lot more. Why? Well, that's pretty easy. We want a working environment where we can share our information, standardize, simplify, integrate, and streamline it. And the how, it's pretty easy. Well, Synergy is really simple to set up, has absolutely minimal IT involvement, and it's very, very flexible. If you're expecting any All Blacks references, there won't be any. I did that yesterday. Sorry, Steve. The architecture behind this, we're just running a simple virtual machine, Microsoft SQL Server, a NAS and a SAN storage. The indexing engine that does all your fancy searching, we're actually running on the same machine. And we have 4 virtual machines on this host, and they're hardly utilized. But it's only as good as, of course, the data we have in there, and our client projects look pretty similar to what they used to look like on our network drives. You have folders and subfolders, but of course here you will notice the inclusion of the extra data, the task lists, the team management, issued files, and which is our transmittal documentation. Of course, this is only as good as the data we put in. So I can't tell you if Simon won the Movember competition, but he must have been pretty damn close. This is basically what happens when you make something really easy to use, and staff will simply start using it. So the graphical interface consists of a file list. The attributes and details displayed are controlled by the administrator or by the user. You also get a full information pane. You get a file preview, and my favorite, file notifications. You can get notified on changes on files, folders, or 12 model projects. So basically, if Joe Bloke picks up that file and checks it back in, you can go back in there, reverse the version, if you so please. A few of the cool command options here. If you have a full file history, users can view, restore all the versions without the need for calling IT, which is me. You can create tasks and assign them to users, check on their progress, notify others by email when they overdue or when they complete it. You can also send shortcuts to files and folders, which is quite handy. You have your emails, your desktops, and copy to clipboard and put it into a document or something else. And of course, the collaboration with external parties, it's as simple as click and publish. And the issue register, a really cool way of tracking contract documents. It has really simplified that process. So apart from just the client information, we have all of our office-related documents, tasks, forums in 12D Synergy, from HR to management, survey team procedures, meeting minutes, and a lot more. We can control the access permissions, who can see, edit, or modify this information. We can schedule and organize our teams. And this is really where that collaboration comes in. So in the 2 years, the rate of growth has been something that absolutely sort of surprised me. We've got about 80 users, and they're adding some crazy amounts of data to the system. 24,000 jobs, and Richard has done some amazing work in minimizing clicks and making the user experience a lot better. Our secretaries absolutely love it. They can always find anything that we ask for, and it has been made quite easy for them to make things happen. So we've run a few tests about the speed of search, which is quite an important thing. Once you put data in there, you want to know how quickly you can get to it. So on the same PC, we've searched for job names, file names, contents of files. And to be fair, if you have a very small Outlook inbox, you will find your emails very quickly. My inbox is about 20 gigabytes, and well, I'm the IT administrator, I can increase it, so. Yeah, I can hardly find anything in there, right? It's hit and miss. It usually times out. So on average, 12D Synergy is a lot faster and more robust in getting you this. Now, we will monitor this performance as we add rest of our data to the system. Looking at a few highlights, the administration of the system is really simple. You don't need to have any IT knowledge whatsoever. It's a great tool to manage 12D Synergy there. It gives you the control, the way you set it up, who has access to it, and helps you improve procedures and support and training. Plus, you get all of this on the go, which I'm more than happy to show you should your cell phone providers give me access. In its simplest form, Synergy improves file storage. There are basically no limits to what you can file. Unlike a flat file system, here you have something that's more like a cloud storage. Document versions and backup are available to you to use from anywhere. What we are putting in at the moment is mainly Outlook emails. They're automated, stamped, minimal user input. Office documents, they utilize Synergy attributes. We do lots of publishing of data, which enables the collaboration with other organizations, and our transmittal register for contract management. And the managed files, which are basically a pretty cool way of managing any type of other software in 12D Synergy. And I want all of this from my desk, in a meeting room from Wi-Fi, on the go, or from home. I like to refer this to a bit of like cloud. Unfortunately, with cloud systems, you've got to trust your data to internet providers. And you need to be sure that they will back up your data, they will give you access, and most importantly, they're financially stable so that they don't go under and you lose your data. And 12D Synergy gives you what I call the cheap and cheerful cloud, because you own it, you control it, and you don't have any of those other worries. Now, it is installed automatically when you install the software, so there's very little for you to need to do. As far as the user interface is concerned, well, users don't know. For them, it's as if it was in a cloud. Speaking of the data access, the very cool feature of publishing, we've set up quite a few FTP sites in the past, and they either cost a lot of money or they're free and they don't work very well, which means more IT support, which I really don't want to do. But with 12D Synergy, this is automatically installed, couple of DNS records, and is operational. Users simply choose the files they want to publish, set the time frames, put a password on there, and email the notifications to their clients or other users. It is secure. You only get access to that one file link, and you can't browse any other data on your server. Plus, the system actually places in a different storage place, so even if someone managed to hack that, they wouldn't get anywhere. And yeah, the best thing here is no IT support. I was actually showing this off last week to one of my clients who came in. We were publishing a few things, and it was just a couple of clicks, and bang, emails went away. And then he goes, "Oh, so how do you set up the website?" I was like, "Well, I don't." So do you have to call IT? Well, that's me. No, I don't. It just works. And we opened the links, and he was quite impressed. So, yeah. You'll have to buy me a beer. One of the really cool things about 12D Synergy is its ability to customize, and we're using a scheduled task over here to display our 24,000 jobs in Google Earth. As you zoom in, more and more jobs appear, and finally when you get to the street level, you can check for conflict of interest, for example. One of our managers may be working for the neighbor, and we should really know this and be able to declare it so that we don't get ourselves into trouble. For our technical staff, this is quite useful from the point of view they can have a look, read the job headers, and see if they can find some useful information next door. Naturally, we all want to do less work, so if we can find some data, then we don't need to do it and repeat it. And this is simply working by our accounting package synchronizes with 12D Synergy. So as soon as the accounts people create a job, that fires off a task to 12D Synergy, which goes and sets up the whole entire job with the whole entire job structure. And that kicks off the Google Sync and geocoding task to place these place marks on a screen. So there's about 4.5 minutes delay, long enough for you to go and have a coffee, which is hell of a lot faster than admin staff can actually open the accounting package and create the job in the first place. So this has been a pretty cool, very easy feature to set up. Going back to those goals that Lee has mentioned, we have achieved few. All of our office documents are now in 12D Synergy, which acts like the intranet. So that one's been done. The drawing register, this one is work in progress. Some projects have been put in, but others have not, and we are working through other software packages to plot directly into 12D Synergy. So we want everyone across the whole entire office to only plot into one place. And the disconnecting mapped drives, we definitely did not get this one done. I was a little bit surprised to find out we had 98 million files, and we have 60 versions of each file. This gives you about 5.8 billion files we're going to have to crawl through and upload to Synergy either as files or file versions. So Richard, you better take a deep breath when we go and do this. But yeah, I know most of you would probably say, why would you bother going back and do the history of everything? Why would you want everything in there? You could just go from now into the future. Well, I have a view that we have this great system, we may as well utilize it, and simply if you don't give it a try, you will never know. And I have no doubt that with the great support from 12D Solutions, that there's no reason why we can't get this done. There'll be a few people on holiday, I think, when we kick this off. You may have noticed that I haven't said much about 12D model. That's because most of the features have been added to version 11, and we are quite excited to see version 11 for all of its design features as well as all of its implementation with 12D Synergy, tasks, deadlines, plotting, settings, and much more. Another thing that we hope the future holds, we would be really keen if our asset management tool, Calendar, made it into 12D Synergy. It's also SQL based. It's just ways of implementing all of our data in one place. So we want to improve productivity and time cost and tracking so we can book our vehicles and equipment in 12D Synergy. We hope to do that. So in summary, 12D Synergy is definitely unique in the way it is open to manage data across systems. Our biggest drawback in the past has been cost. We've looked at Vault and ProjectWise, but in reality for a small business 5 years ago, it was just unaffordable. We are looking for something to help us manage everything at a cost that was realistic for a small practice or medium-sized business. And we all have those common issues where, staff send their emails away and modified contracts, and you need access to those things and they go on leave. So now with the automated email saving upload to Synergy, we have everything in one place and we can find information that we need. We also have the traceability. We know who's checked out a file, when and why, what they've changed, and we have the ability to recover any deleted data. And you have access to all of this over slow networks, 2G, or a cell phone or ADSL on the go. One of the interesting things for us was the highlight of disaster recovery after the earthquakes. And looking through all the setup and everything that Synergy's got in the background, it's definitely ticked all the boxes. It's got all of the recommended IT infrastructure in place, so it's really safe. Now, Eliot Sinclair approach has been full business integration. However, the system has been designed to be useful to as little as two-man team. We have been discussing using 12D Synergy at the council and advising them that maybe they want to implement it for just their 12D model team. So you can just do that. Or if you want to operate your cloud storage, it would be able to do just that one task. It's easy to set up and sky's your limit. I practiced this presentation in front of my wife last week, and she suggested that maybe we should go to law firms and accountants because they could definitely benefit from some data management. That's pretty much all from me, except for asking for a bit of support.